just made it out to the shop, and what we're going to do is get this blank out of clamps. Then we're going to square up the remaining 2-ups. There are 4 of them. We're going to glue these together in a nice big block. And after that, we'll see what's next. Maybe we'll work on cleaning these up. I'm not 100% sure just yet. Well, we lost another one. I had just started into the end of the blank. It got pretty tore up when it broke, but this piece of burl gave way and broke. And of course, that went into the blade and just boogered it all up. So I'm gonna have to fix this one. So let me get geared up to work on that. Actually, let me stop. I'm gonna go ahead and get this in glue up. Then we'll take a look at that one and see if we can fix it. And we also have to remember that over here, I've got all of these other blanks. So what I may attempt to do is incorporate those blanks into this blank as I glue it up. In order to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and have to true up one of the sides, and that way we can glue those to that side because it'll be squared. Since this is already in the saw, looks like it hit so hard that it actually pushed that past it where there's no lip there. But I'll go ahead and get this cleaned up on this side so that we can glue blanks to it and make this a 3-up. And we'll come back later when we glue these two together and add this 3-up to it. Luckily, we got plenty of blanks, so we'll make it work. We're close. To start this fix, I'm gonna go ahead and run this through the saw. And you can see that the broken off part extends past the end of this blank. So I'm just gonna square the end of the blank. The piece that broke off of the blank, I wanna save the wingay. So what I'm gonna do is run it through the blade against my fence, and we've got the blade set to where it just shaves everything off the side of the wingay. I got the wingay cleaned up. We're gonna put an X on here so we know this is the good side, and we'll be able to glue this right back into our blank when we're ready. The next step in this process is, I've got a piece of sacrificial wood here. We're going to hot glue this piece to it. That's why we squared that, so it'll stand straight up. We'll put it against the fence, and we'll hot glue it to the sacrificial piece of wood. We'll adjust our blade to shave the burl off. We'll run this through the blade. The blade will be up higher so that it cuts up to maybe a little past the level of this blank. And that'll get a nice cut right down the middle, and we can come back and shave this off with the blade by running it through on its side like this. Let's get set up. I've got the hot glue melting right now, so as soon as it's ready, we'll get this glued to the sacrificial wood. I've got the blade raised to the height of the blank, and I've got the blank hot glued to the sacrificial piece. And now from back here, we'll push it through, and once it gets through far enough to where the blade clears the blank, we'll pull it back towards us. We're not gonna pass this all the way through. This board is just to keep our hands away from the blade and to hold the blank steady. So let's go ahead and make that first cut. You can see we've got a nice clean cut right down the center of the 2 blanks. What we'll do now is we'll raise our blade to this height, just enough to clear this height, but not enough to cut into this blank. We'll set the blank like this, run it through the blade, and we'll cut this piece right off, which should leave us a nice L-shaped piece here that we can then glue another blank into and correct this blank. With that, we've got a nice clean cut, and I've got my piece of wingay, and I should be able to seat it right in there, and we should get a really nice fit. We'll be able to take some of our spare pieces over there and add them onto the end of the blank. Now that we've got this nice offset to get it to the proper length, and any remaining blanks we will glue along the outside edge to make this a 3-up. I'm getting ready to start my glue up, and I kind of lined everything up on this end. Had a little bit of overhang on this one, not a big deal. That one as well. When I get to this end, you'll notice they're all about the same length, except this one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull this one out of the mix. We'll put it back here with the one we just repaired. We'll go ahead and get these glued up. And then once these are glued up and in clamps, we will add blanks to both of those to get them to roughly the same length as the rest of our blanks. I got the larger blank glued up. It is the same thickness as the other blank. They both have 5 2-ups on them. I've got this one and this one, the repairs, glued up and drying. We're gonna let those guys set. We'll come back tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, Wednesday, and get all of the, well, if we can get these to square on the sides, we'll get them all glued up together. We should be able to. It's just the 2 issues that we had were because the wood was kind of punky, maybe a little spalted or whatever. So I don't think there'll be an issue. We should be fine. I have 3 blanks left that I just can't work in there. if you sent these blanks, and you'll see your names on there, I want to apologize, but they did not make it into the collaboration because I didn't have enough material. I want to thank you for these blanks, and if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to include them. This is a little smaller collaboration, but I'm going to include them in the collaboration number 2. Okay, if you have a problem with that, please let me know, and I'll be happy to drop that blank in your envelope and send it back to you. But I kind of feel like most people are going to say, go for it, you know. We're making great progress. What I'm going to do now, I got a little bit of time left. I've got these blanks over here, are the ones I was cleaning up the other night. I need to make the cuts on these. Before I do, I'm going to go ahead and clean the ones up that need no more work so that we can get them cut to 5 inches if they're not already 5 inches, and have them ready to go for the Patreon Chaos Blank drawing. So lots of stuff going on in the shop. So I'm going to get busy on cleaning those up. We'll use the bandsaw and the disc sander, and we may try to clean these up that are sitting on the disc sander as well while we're over here. The biggest problem is I just put all this stuff in front of my disc sander. I wasn't thinking. Dang it. Here are the repaired blanks. I'll give you a quick peek at them. This was my one short piece. I cut it off that long piece. It's way longer than a Sierra tube. They look really nice. So instead of these going to the burn pile or whatever, they are now repaired. And because they're Chaos blanks, the repairs fit right in. They look normal. I still have a couple of blanks over here. They need the slot just cut one more time so I can get a piece down in there, and I've already got the wood to do it. So, and this one, of course, is, I don't know what the heck I did with that one. But I'll see if I can get a 5-inch blank out of one end of it and maybe a 3-inch out of the other. I got these blanks cleaned up. I normally don't clean the blanks up. I usually leave them kind of ragged, but what I found is when I put them on Etsy, if they're pretty, they sell easier. Otherwise, people are a little reluctant. This one I'm going to hang on to because it's got that hole right there where there was a nail. And then this one, it's got that little spot there. I don't know what that is, glue or whatever. So I'm not too happy with that one. And this one needs a fix, but it's too small to run through the saw. So these aren't going to go. These I'm going to let my patrons make the decision whether they want them included in the drawing or not. Those will be for sale shortly. And I'm going to turn my attention to these 3 blanks. We're going to get our slices cut. And then I got these nice mahogany strips I cut out the other night. We'll get those glued in, and we're going to be done for the night. I got 2 of them ready to go. I was getting ready to do this one, and I noticed, can you see how it's kind of curved? I think when that went in and I clamped it, I think it sort of squished a little bit and made kind of a C shape. See how it's curved? So if I cut this, it's going to be way larger at both ends. So I don't think I'm going to be able to fix this one. So it's going to lay aside. And I wanted to make a comment. These 3 blanks that I said I probably wasn't going to sell or give away because they were in bad shape, these will be the ones that I turn. I'm going to turn these for, make a pin and do a video, I think, at some point, just to kind of show them off. So they're not going to go to waste. Not much. Very little ever goes to waste in the old RJB Wood Turner wood shop. I'm going to get these 2 glued up and clamped up, and we're going to call it a night. They are glued up, and I'm calling it a night. Thank you for hanging out with me, and we'll see you again probably Wednesday.